Hello, guys. I'm Kolby, and this is UNCUT BTS, where we take you behind the scenes of our podcast, our businesses, and our lives. Today, we have a very exciting past guest, Chef Ippy Aiona from Waimea, and we have a really fun project we get to talk about.
Chef Ippy, happy Monday. How's it going?
Fantastic. I love Mondays.
Q3 now. We're in July.
Yeah.
Crazy. July
Yeah.
1st.
Yeah, July 1st. Yep.
How's it going? How's it been? We had you on last year.
Yeah, that was a long time. That was a year ago. It felt like almost like 2 or 3 years. It felt like so long ago.
A lot.
Yeah. A lot's happened. It's good. It's been great.
Yeah, you teased that new show you had on our podcast. How was that?
It was good. That one was Barbecue Brawl, right?
Yeah, Barbecue Brawl.
It was good. We made it to the finale, or I made it to the finale. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have come on if I didn't do good on it, but we did good. So it was really cool. It was a great experience. Made it far enough where I felt, comfortable and like happy. And I did get a little more out of my comfort zone and cook some things that weren't it wasn't all Hawaiian food. I thought I was going to go up and really focus on Hawaiian barbecue. But I did Italian. I think I did French. I did all kinds of crazy things. So it was fun. It was a good experience.
Was a big takeaway from that?
I would say the big takeaway. I don't know. The big takeaway is that in my 30s, my anxiety is at a whole different level than in my 20s. I'll tell you that right now. Doing cooking competitions in my 20s compared to in my 30s is night and day difference. That's what I would say the biggest takeaway is, because before I never cared as much when I got judged and everything, and this time it was rough. I didn't enjoy it. I did good, but I still didn't enjoy it. I just didn't. I don't know. It was a whole different game, and that's probably the biggest takeaway. I'm getting a little more anxiety ridden, so these competitions are getting a little harder. So
that must be so hard to put your all your energy and your heart and your creativity into something, and then they just pick at it and criticize it, and it's and you kind of just need to stand there and take it, right? Yeah.
No, there was a few times where I thought they were wrong, and I said it, but obviously they cut and edit and all these things, but because food's so subjective, and food is one of the things where it's if it's very subjective, and there were things where I thought were perfect, and they would always, whenever they would critique, they would always put one little thing in there, oh, it's a little under seasoned, or it could use a little more salt, and it was almost like that one thing they kept for editing purposes, and would throw it in at random times where it was unnecessary, and just to keep me in the middle. But realistically, the whole time I was always at the top, So it's cool. It's just you learn a lot, and like I said, in my 30s, do I get the same out of cooking competitions as I did in my 20s? Probably not. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy networking and meeting everybody. But I do not enjoy the anxiety. And this time I actually got to keep my phone. So before, when reality shows were super intense, they would take your phones away, take everything. This time I got to keep my phone. So I noticed I would be texting my wife before judging and stuff. And I'd be like, oh man, I'm definitely going home. This is not my day. This is not good. And then I would end up doing really good. And it's almost like I would be psyching myself, preparing myself. So if I did go, it was just, I didn't like it. I loved the show and everybody on the show, and I made lifelong friends and yada, yada, all those amazing things, But I had a lot of stress. It's different nowadays, People and the chefs are a lot better nowadays too. That's a big difference too. It's I'm competing with guys that are on the same level, which was it was tough,
I feel reality TV, even in these kinds of situations, I feel more the audience are don't really buying into it. Do you think they pick the winners ahead of time? All of that, people just kind of criticize it. This is all a setup. They pick their winners.
Well,
already.
in my thing, we had this situation where in the final episode, the last episode, it was 3 teams, right? Team Ann, Team Sunny, and Team Bobby. And I was the last one left on Team Ann, and there was 2 people on Team Sunny, 2 people on Team Sunny, 2 people on Team Bobby. So we go into the last final episode, and they're like, okay, guys, this is the final episode. We're going to do 2 challenges. The first one is going to be a double elimination, which we've never done. And everybody's like, oh, double elimination. And they're like, here's the thing. They're like, two teams are going to go into the bottom, and one person from each of those 2 teams are going to go home. And I'm looking around how does that work?
You're the only
there's
one.
2 guys on that, 2 guys on that. So if I'm not first place. If our team comes in second or third, I automatically go home. Like I don't even get a shot to be second or third place to go to the final
Right.
to get to, because that was to cook in the final cook, you know. And the final cook, you got to do whatever you wanted, which is what I really wanted to do. But I did really well, and I probably would have finished second, maybe third in that first cook to get me to the last cook, but it didn't matter. The when the one girl that they had set, and they were like, okay, she won this challenge, you're done, Ippy. And that to me was messed. Like that was hard. That was where I was like, all right, we were all here for 2 weeks. We were all here doing what we had to do, competing. And in this last episode, like you're gonna tell me that they get a better, that other people get a better opportunity than me. Like I just wasn't into it, you know. So that part was
Yeah.
rough. But again, it's like you said, Kolby. It's a show, and they're trying to, you know, there's certain things they have to do and they have to get. And so yeah, I think people are starting to catch on a little bit, and people caught on very. It was obvious. I mean, people were calling me and like, wait, what? How does that work? Like, how, you know, it was good and bad. I think the producers do have a lot to say because it's a TV show. You know, I was told when I did my first competition ever in my 20s by a producer who I really love, Kyle Turbos. He was the man, and he got out of the reality world because he's the man, and he and he basically told me one day, he was like, Ippy, he's like, these reality competitions cost a lot of money to make, and the goal is to make them entertaining, the show, like that's the goal, you know. He's like, so I got that, and I kept that, and so I take what I can. I love doing them because I get to meet people and network, and but it's tough, man, especially because food's so subjective. And the older I get, the more I understand that, but the more frustrated I get when I don't win, you know. So it's a double edged
Yeah, it's
sword.
tough.
So no.
Oh yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's the
Yeah.
last competition I get invited to.
Yeah. Right.
Nah, but you two have something very exciting that's
Some kind of
launching
cooking
tonight,
show.
Yes,
actually.
yes.
Yeah, and it's not a cooking show. It kind of takes you back to your roots.
Hmm.
So tell us about that. Tell the viewers about that.
Yeah, we're doing Kolby, and I actually, Kobe's producing it, directing it. The reason why it's so good, and we're doing a show called Eating Our Roots, and it's really what I wanted to do 11 or 12 years ago. It's what I pitched to Food Network when I first went on Food Network Star. Something similar. It was called, I think, like Ippy's Pacific Voyage or something different, you know. But it was something similar where I wanted to focus on the food and the people of Hawaii. They wanted to do a show where we were in a studio in New York, and I said I was no, and that was years ago. And since then, I've never been able to get anybody to jump on the same page. But Kolby is from here. She's Hawaiian. She has the same kind of love for her people and her island that I have. So I think that's the reason why this ended up working out. And she actually, when we talked about a different show, was the one who told me, she was like, look, that's not the show you should be doing. This is the type of show you should be doing. And she was talking about Eating Our Roots. And so we got to do it. We ended up, you know, it was a struggle. It's a small group of us. And so it wasn't easy. It was a lot of work, but my God, this show is so good. It's coming out tonight, 7 p.m. on KF5. Tonight's Monday, July 1st. And it's going to be every Monday for 8 weeks. And it is amazing. It's a food anthropology slash docu-series slash cooking show. So it's like all the best parts of all of those shows put together. We focus on the farmers. We focus on the ranchers. We focus on what's important. And then at the end, we bring you into the kitchen as I do like a talk story session and kind of recap everything that we went through while making a dish using that ingredient. It is such a great show, a great concept.
Nice.
Kolby, please, I don't want to say too much because you're the reason it's so good, but
No.
God, I'm so excited. I'm super excited. Like I'm turning red. I'm so excited. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, if he said it beautifully, it's exactly like the kind of show, you know. I mean, we talk about these things all the time, like making stuff that we really feel passionate about, because we could have easily like done another cooking show where he's in the kitchen. He could have been like 1 cup of this, and you know, and like that's what the original idea was. And I'm like, I don't think people are into that. I think people really want to learn about, and we want to share those stories with people. And so really it's like diving into the history of the ingredients that are found here on the island. Where did it come from? Who are like the early adopters? Who are like the early stewards? And who are the ones who are taking it to the next level? And so it's just, yeah, I'm super proud of it. But I'm sure you can imagine, Andrew, it's a freaking ton of work.
I
Like
know.
we interview like several different people per episode, and there's just so many moving parts and so many hands involved with a very, very small team.
Very small.
I mean, we could probably use at least 3 times as many
Four
people
times.
and a lot more production time and post production time. But
Yeah,
with
I don't think a lot of people realize or understand what goes behind these shows, whether it's the
mhm,
big reality networks that have a lot of budget, or like it's these like these productions, like people don't understand what goes into it, like not just the filming or the planning, but like even the editing afterwards. So 8 episodes, it's a lot long form for TV. So props to you guys. I'm excited to watch it, and I'm sure everyone is excited to
Mhm.
watch this passion project
Yes.
of you two.
The indie projects nowadays are what like the world's all about that now. Indie projects, like you don't need a big studio. You just need a budget and the right amount of people. We even with that we didn't have that, but we were able to, because it becomes a passion project. It's like those indie projects where you find out they're award winning, all these amazing games and things that people put out, and then you find out, wait, what, it was made by 2 or 3 people. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think those are the best. Those are the ones because they actually care. There's a difference, and I'm a firm believer in, you can watch, when you watch a show, you can tell if the crew got along or if they didn't by the show. I mean, by the movie, it's obvious.
100%.
It's so obvious. All the best things, you ask the people and they say, "Oh, I love the crew. I love my cast. I love this." And this crew we had, we're family. Like that's how it is now. So I think you'll see it. You'll be able to see it in the show for sure.
yeah, I think that was a big, big, big learning lesson going into this and like going through the journey of this. It's like, I mean, I stick to my people that I like trust and like know how I work and like what I'm looking for. And like when you go outside of that and like have to deal with like different kind of like personalities and different like work ethics and just yeah, sometimes it can complicate things. And so
Yeah,
that was a
different
big, big
networks, like
learning
dealing with putting it on TV and stuff. It's a whole different game.
but when you get the right team put together, where you like can put together all like different like gifts, like Ippy, he's such a good writer. Like on top of being like really good host, like on camera person, like super dynamic, super entertaining. But like his writing is like perfect for this show. It's like I mean, I like do kind of like a base like structure, like this is what we should be hitting, and then he like takes it to a whole nother level, and I'm like, wow, like it's incredible. So that kind of thing, like when you put together like the right talent, the right personalities, it's magic when it
What
happens.
allows people like me, nobody ever would allow a chef to write his own stuff. Nobody ever has. I mean, it's just not, unless you're Anthony Bourdain or you're like a known writer, it's very rare. So I think having stuff like this allows people's talents to really show. For example, you're involved so much in the post production part, like huge amounts, where it's basically, I mean, you're building the storyline. You're such a big part of that. So I think it forces us to get, like you said, outside of
Mhm.
comfort zones, outside of these other things. But it also showcases skills that maybe other people wouldn't utilize, because it'd be so easy if we had the money to say, let's just get a writer. And nobody would have
Mhm.
ever. I would have been here like, wait, but I love writing, but nobody knows that because I'm a chef. Like I just don't. It's not something I do. So yeah, I appreciate it. I'm so excited. Like
This is just the beginning for you guys then.
I really believe that this show is special. I mean, and we don't focus. I know we're talking a lot about our people because that's what we focused on for this season. Like Big Island is everything in this season, but I think we kept it broad enough to show that, hey, this show can translate anywhere. I mean, we can take this show anywhere and showcase
Everybody
cultures.
has roots.
Everybody has roots,
Mhm.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
food. Everybody has
Yeah, and
roots.
I love
It's
eating, so
perfect.
it's perfect. It works out
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Let
it
me
is
sign up to be a food tester,
Hmm.
yeah.
taster.
And it is our island, so we're familiar with the ingredient, but we're learning so much about it too at the same time. So like even if we went on and did like say Maui and like really highlighted some of the foods that are grown there and the things that are grown there, it'd be like similar too. Like we'd be learning so much in the whole process. And yeah, you can see that in the episodes, like Ippy's like, what? Like
Oh,
blown away
so
by things
excited.
he learns.
I was actually just I was with someone yesterday, and I was at a coffee shop, and I was over there like acting like I knew so much about coffee. And they're like, wow, you really know a lot about coffee. I'm like, yeah, it's like I don't want to tell them like, yeah, white nene. Like I just learned, I just had like a coffee like expert teach me
Master
everything. Like,
class. Yeah.
so it is. I'm learning a ton, and I would love to be able. That's the goal: is to do every island, give every island a season, and allow each island to have pride and show what ingredients are big to there, and then go from there because that would be amazing.
So, Eating Our
Hmm.
Roots tonight,
Yes.
it's going to be on K5 at
Mhm.
7. So, this is on July 1st. We're premiering our first episode. So, K5 at 7 p.m. But it will be available streaming on
Yeah.
HawaiiNews.com and
On the
on
app.
a bunch of different platforms. Yeah, on the app. And you can connect it with Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. And this is just episode 1. So,
Eight
the next
episodes.
8 weeks, there will be new
As long
episodes.
as we finish them, that's
As long as we
As long as Kolby can pump them out, huh?
that's really it. That's what it's coming down to. Just,
definitely tonight will be there will be the one, and
we'll
then there will be
we'll do a catch up episode in 8 weeks to see how Kobe's doing.
yeah, we'll be doing it either from the hospital or the spa. We'll see which one it is.
Yeah, one of those.
we'll be doing it from Valor and celebrating is what we'll be
Yes,
Yeah,
doing.
there it
I
is.
agree.
What is for you, Ippy? Like, what's like the one big like takeaway so far with this journey?
So I would say like the polar opposite of my takeaway from my last show. You know, it's this show was the exact opposite. There was stress, there was all those type of things, but it was all in a sense of passion, like in a sense of the stress all came from I love this project. I love the people we're interviewing. I love the subject. So I want to make sure it gets what it deserves, as opposed to the anxiety of, oh, this person's judging me and all that. So my big takeaway with
Mhm.
this show was what I learned was that you don't need a huge network. If you have the right people leading, obviously each one of our people could have probably used one or two assistants, but I just learned that if you do what you love and you have the right people, and I told you this and you kind of laughed and agreed, like when you do productions, it's almost like a fake little world. You go in this little bubble and everybody's like, oh, I love you. Oh, we're so, and you're really, and you have to be like that because it's such a high stress, intense industry
Mhm.
that if you don't have that, if you're not that positive, it's so easy to get knocked down and feel negative. So with us, there wasn't any fakeness. It was like everybody was genuinely excited and happy and proud of what we did, and I think that's going to really show. I've never done anything where I'm actually like, where it's about my people, where I'm proud to put this out, and I think it's going to show the big difference between what I've done before and this. It's on a whole different level. Like this is a whole different level of everything I've ever done. It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Everything you've been working on has led to this moment, so it's gonna be very exciting
Yeah,
to see like your
for
latest
me, it
project
has.
and
It really
show. And
has.
yeah,
And not just this show, like everything. Like
yeah,
it's really showcasing that patience pays off. I mean, today I posted on Facebook. A post came up today in 2012. I posted from Food Network Star, and I was like, "Hey, today's Food Network Star is going to be airing." I was like, "Yeah," I was like,
Wow.
we're premiering Miami, blah blah blah." I did all this whole post, and it was today, in 2012, and then I posted. I was like, "It only took 11 years to get the show that I wanted." Like the show that like I wanted to put out then, like 11 years ago. Sometimes it shows that patience pays off. Like if I would have done that show before I was a dad, before I was a restaurant owner, before all these things, I don't think I would have been able to do what we did. I wouldn't have been able to write what we wrote or feel how I felt. So I think patience pays off, and everything is serendipitous. It happens at the right time, right place, and this is a prime example of that. So I'm so again, I'm so excited. It's obvious, right? Like, it's obvious how
nice.
excited I
Yeah, yeah,
am.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud of
No, I'm
you.
proud of you.
You did really
I'm
good.
proud of
You're
us,
proud of
man.
us.
Gabe and Dustin and Cam, like everybody. Aloha show you for being our sole sponsor, like, and Rand's. Like it's an
Yeah.
amazing, a beautiful thing that happened. And this is just the beginning. I can't wait to
Yep.
do an uncut behind the scenes in a year or two from now when we're on season 2 or season 3, and just
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't.
All
Yeah.
right. So tonight, please watch, please comment, please share, please let us know what you think. And Thank you so much for being on, taking time to catch up with
Mhm.
us.
No, thank you.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I love the excitement.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I'm trying to not
just
smile.
seeing
I'm like,
this,
all
and
right,
yeah,
but I can't. I'm like
yeah.
so like happy and excited. This really is. This is amazing. You know, it's one of those things where you don't
This
notice,
is
like you
great.
just don't know until it happens, like how stoked you are. You
yeah,
know.
Yeah,
So no,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
great. Thank you again, Chef, for jumping on
Thank
and
you.
yeah,
catching up with
Yeah. Thanks
us.
for having me.
Can't believe it's been a year.
A year. I know.
I know.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No grades yet, so maybe next year we'll see. You know.
Don't forget to tune in tonight, 7 p.m. K5 guys, and check them out.
Yep. Aloha, guys.
Aloha.
Thanks,
Thank you
Ippy.
guys. Aloha, Uncut.